Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is Kit and today is Sunday, March 8th, 2020. As you guys can see, I am in my new studio and I am loving it so far. So I have put everything in here. I don't have all my yarn in here. There's still some yarn upstairs in the closet, but that can wait. And I rearranged things and put things where I think they should go. And I found out that I have 2 empty cubbies on my craft table. So what I want to do throughout this whole entire year is fill those 2 cubbies with hand-dyed yarn. So I think it was last week, but I met Rose from Rose Likes Crochet and we went yarn shop hopping. So we went to 3 different local hand-dyed yarn shops and I bought 2 skeins of yarn, or 2 hanks, and I am working with one right now and I absolutely love it. Like, I love it. I think I'm becoming addicted. So it's going to be my new obsession, I think. So what I want to do is this year when we go to YarnCon, I want to buy 3 or 4 hanks of hand-dyed yarn to add to my collection. So that way I can get inspired by the yarn when I look at it and then just see what I want to make with them. So I might not have plans for the yarn, but when I look at them, they might inspire me to make a project. So I'm going to start off today. I will show you a little my craft room right now. It's still a mess, you guys, so I will just show you my setup of it, and then I mean, it is what it is. But I want to start off with my knitting. So I hope you guys saw my Hat Not Hate video for the Hat Not Hate campaign, but I already started making hats and I made this cute little knitted beanie. Isn't this adorable? It is so small, but it stretches, and I tried it on my daughters yesterday and it fit them perfectly. So I knitted this. It took me like, I think 2 days because I didn't do it all day long. But if I were to work on one all day long, I can probably finish one in a day. I mean, I'm not a fast knitter, but look at how cute that turned out. There's my seam. I'm not good at sewing the seams together yet because you can see the seam. But there's a few spots where I messed up, where I should have knitted instead of purled and vice versa, but you can barely tell. And it is the cutest little hat. So I need, and I used, what did I use for this? Knit Picks Brava Chunky, I think it was. And I only had 1 skein and it had 173 yards. And I thought that it wasn't going to be enough for a beanie, but I only used half the skein, you guys. So with that 1 skein, I think I can knit up another hat identical to this. And this would be perfect for a little child. It is so cute. So that's what it looks like. And like I said, I messed up a couple stitches, but you honestly can't tell once it's on the child's head. So there is my one and only finished object. And this is for Hat Not Hate. So I will set that aside. And I can't wait to start more beanies because this was a easy knit. Actually, it's a 2x2 rib all the way up to the top, and then you start decreasing, and then you just seam the hat together, and then I just added a pom-pom and it turned out really cute. So there is my one object. So I'm gonna stick to the knitting and then I'll get to the crochet because I do not have any finished crocheted items. So that shawl that I have been working on has gotten bigger. Progress, you guys, more progress. So I'm loving it, and I want to hurry up and get this one done because I need my needles. So here is what it looks like so far. I am loving the color. I like the pattern a lot. It is really easy knit, and as you all know, I am a very beginner knitter, and if I can knit this, anyone can knit this because it is so simple. And last time I showed you, I was at this lacy, the second lacy section. So in about a week, this is what I got done, and I haven't picked this up in like 3-4 days. So that's how much I got done. It's really simple, and once you get going, you get going, because I can knock out a bunch of rows in a few hours. So it's a really quick knit. Well, I don't want to say quick, but it's a really easy knit, and I will be finished with this in no time. And it's just going to be a shawl that you wrap around your neck. So it's going to be gorgeous. So this one will be done soon. I don't want to say next week because that's very ambitious, but maybe like 2-3 weeks from now, it will be finished. And I can't wait to show you guys the finished product. And I was trying to just use up this whole entire ball of yarn to finish this up. So I hope that I can stretch this to make it work. If not, I have a second skein of this, but I don't want to bust that one open. I want to try to see how big I can make it with just this. So that's coming out great. And then what else do I have? I have one more knitted project. I have another one actually. I started knitting another hat and I didn't like the way it was turning out because I was using bamboo needles, like straight bamboo needles to knit with, and the yarn was dragging and I didn't like the way it dragged across the needles. So I frogged that one, and I don't have anything to show you because I just frogged it. And I want to start doing another beanie like this, but on my Chiaogu needles instead. And for the yarn, it recommends a 4mm needle. So I think my 4mm needles are on that shawl. That's the only one I have. So when I go out shopping today for groceries, I will check to see if I can find like metal 4mm straight needles to knit up the hat. So I will, I mean, that'll be a cheap buy. It'll be inexpensive, and that way I can have that needle to just knit up a bunch of hats. And then I need to also buy more blue yarn for the Hat Not Hate campaign, so I will be getting that today. And last time I was on, I talked to you guys about this shawl. It is called Raven's Land, and it is by Sarah Marie Dooley. And that's what the picture looks like. And it's a really simple pattern when I read through it. So I actually casted on the stitches and started this shawl yesterday. And I am using hand-dyed yarn by Queenie Crochet. And it does not have a colorway, but it's a sock weight yarn, or number 1, and it's 4-ply 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and 438 yards in 100-gram hank. And I caked up the hank, so this is what it looks like caked up. And this is my shawl, and you guys, I love it. I freaking love it. It is beautiful. It's still on my needle, so it's going to be a little wonky. This is what it's working up to look like, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to turn it upside down. So the point part right here is actually the top part, and then it's just going to spread out super long, and I'm just going to wear it as like a accessory scarf. But it is so beautiful. Look at how beautiful the yarn worked up. And there are little darker specks of the yarn, like in the yarn. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a darker red speck there, one here. There's another one somewhere that I just saw. It's on this side. There's one there. Like, I love this yarn. It is beautiful. So I like the way it's working up. And it's a really easy knit, you guys. So if you guys want a shawl pattern that's quick, well, not quick, but easy to knit up, try that Raven's Land shawl, because this is what I started yesterday, and this is how far I've gotten so far. And the pattern is like really easy to remember. So right now I'm doing like the garter section, and then there'll be a lace section and then more of the garter section. So right now I'm just knitting every row and then increasing at the ends. So it is, the yarn is working up beautifully. And here I have my progress keeper. So this is where I was at yesterday, and this morning I got a few more rows in. So I will keep that on there. And then next week I can have a little bit more to show you guys. So I have been mostly knitting and not crocheting. So those are all my knitted projects. So I had one finished project and then like 3 works in progress for knitting. So 2 of them are shawls, and I will be making more shawls because I love the patterns for the knitted shawls. They're just beautiful. And this yarn is, I think I'm addicted to, you guys, I'm addicted to hand-dyed yarn because this is very, very beautiful, and it's so soft, and I love it. So I can't wait to finish these shawls so I can cast on another shawl. So let's talk about crochet. It's been a busy week for me. My daughter Sage has been homesick from school, so she didn't go to school on Thursday or Friday. So Thursday I took the day off. I rearranged my craft room, my studio, and I just spent the day in bed with her. So I got a lot of knitting done, but I did not get any crocheting done. I had mentioned before, I was working on like a St. Patrick's Day or a spring blanket, and this is how far I've gotten on that blanket. It's going to be like a little lapgan, so it's not really wide. It's going to be longer than it is wide because it's just going to go over your lap, you know, or my lap while I knit or crochet. Just something to keep you a little bit warm. So that's what I have done so far. This is using viscose wool color from Ice. So this is the Ice yarns, and then for the white I am using Karen Cotton Cake. I know they're like totally different fibers in there, but I will hand wash this and lay flat to dry so that way I don't ruin the fibers on there. But this is what I have so far. It's crocheting up really quickly. I just need to just sit down and just do it like all day one day, and I know I can get it done. And I'm using a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook with this. So that one's turning out nicely, and I haven't picked this up in like a week, you guys, so I will try to get this done soon, hopefully. And then my season of the granny. This is horrible, but I have not touched it at all since a couple videos ago, like in like 2-3 weeks, I think. But I need to get this done because, what is it, due March 18th or 17th? It's approaching really quickly, and I have not done another square for my poncho, and I have not finished my daughter's poncho. So today when I get home, we're going to go out for lunch and then go shopping. And then after that, when I get home, I'm going to ignore all my knitting. It's going to be really hard to ignore them. But I am going to finish my daughter's poncho and add the fringe. So that way, at least I have one finished object for the season of the granny. Even if I don't get my poncho complete, at least I will have one object complete for that. And I will try my best. I only need to crochet 2 more squares for my poncho, do a edging, and then add the fringe, and it'll be done. So if I sit down and just concentrate on that, I can have that done by next week, hopefully by next weekend. And I will try to do that sometime. Just sit down and get it done. All right, so that is all I have for crocheting and knitting. And like I said, I'm going to head out to the store. I need to get some more blue yarn for hashtag hat not hate, so that way I can knit and crochet up some more hats. And I am really liking knitting, you guys. When I first started, I was kind of iffy, like, am I going to get this? And it is actually not as hard as it looks, because if I can knit this beanie in less than 2 days, I think it was like 2 days, but I didn't do it all day long. If I can knit this beanie in 2 days, like, anyone can knit, seriously. I love it. I love the way the fabric stretches, and I don't know, I just am in love with knitting. I like it so much. That's what I've been doing like all week this week. I have just been knitting on all my projects, and like I said, I haven't touched my crochet, but I will get back to that, I promise. So I need to wrap this up because we have to go out, and I will definitely be looking for more hand-dyed yarns. I was on Etsy every night this week, just on Etsy, looking up hand-dyed yarns, putting things on my cart and taking things out, because there are so many beautiful hand-dyed yarns out there, different dyers, and I am actually intrigued. I want to try all these different yarns. So if you guys know of anyone that has an Etsy shop that's selling hand-dyed yarn that you have bought from before, please let me know, because I will definitely check them out. And also with handmade project bags. I am looking for some handmade project bags, and I want to start putting my thing, because right now I have my projects scattered. Like, it took me 30 minutes to gather all my works in progress to come do this video. But I need to start getting organized and putting things in bags, so that way I know that this bag has this project and that bag has this project. So I just need to be more organized, and I will get there eventually, hopefully. So if you guys know of, I know Ella from No Catchy Name, she does project bags, and Billy the Crafty Floridian, she sews them up as well. So if you guys know of any more like people that sews their own like project bags, and if you have bought from them before, let me know, because I'd like to check them out as well. So I haven't bought anything yet. I've just been comparing the prices and, you know, the fabrics and things like that. There hasn't been anything that really caught my eye just yet. So I'm waiting for that right project bag. So if you guys know of more people that sells project bags or sews them up and sells them on Etsy or any place, just let me know. So I will definitely check them out. So I will pause this video right here, and I'm going to give you guys a quick tour of the quite not ready yet YouTube studio. But at least you can see that I have my things in here and how I have things set up. As you can see, I hung up a shawl that I had made a while ago. It's a Granny Meets Virus shawl, and it's a very big shawl because I used, I think, a whole entire skein and a half of Red Heart Ombre. I think that's what it's called. And it's a huge shawl. It's too big for me, so I can't wear it. So I'm just going to hang it up there. And that's my wall decoration right there. So maybe every once in a while I'll switch it up and put different shawls that I've made up there. So it'll change things up and keep things interesting, don't you think? So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to pause this and I will show you guys the tour of my craft room. And I need to move some of my lighting around so that way it's not in the way. So I will see you all in a minute here. All right, you guys. So here is my new craft room. And on this wall, I have a shawl up there that I am just trying to display. So I have my husband put some nails up to display a shawl that I don't wear, but it's a pretty decorative item. And here is the shelf full of yarn, and it's 2 rows deep, you guys. So there's a ton of yarn back there and more yarn. And this is a hippo, my first amigurumi ever. So she's kind of lopsided, like I didn't sew her ears in correctly, but she's there. I'm proud because it's my very first amigurumi. And these are the yarns that I am working with right now, so they're just there. These are all my bigger skeins of yarn. Up top, blanket yarn, my cakes, and then more yarn at the bottom. And that's all my finished objects, and I don't have anywhere to put them right now, so they're just sitting there in the corner. I need to get a bin today when we go out shopping. More works in progress. That's my work in progress bin, and it's full to the max, so I need to get that open and just try to work on some things. The boxes over there all have yarn in it, and that's for future giveaways, so I will save that for giveaways. And there are my my craft table, my coffee, and all my lighting is back there, my tripod. I just need to clean up my table, and as you can see, I have empty bins down there. That's going to be for my hand-dyed yarn. So I will be getting more hand-dyed yarn soon, hopefully, when I go to YarnCon. There's some more empty shelves, or one more empty shelf, and it only has 2 skeins of yarn, and that is yarn I got from Tracy when we did our yarn swap, so it's all there displayed. And let me back up. And I want to paint the wooden panels white eventually. And I want to switch out my daughter's artwork hanging board and then put up something for me. Or I think I might do a whole entire wall of mandalas. Like you can crochet up mandalas, like different kinds, and put them on metal rings. And I think I'm going to do that all throughout the year and see if I can just hang them up there, because that would be something neat to do as decoration. And then more yarn there. Like I said, I don't have like a lot of yarn, but it's enough. And right now I feel like I have too much. And then the computer that we still need to switch out, and then more yarn, and then I still have some more yarn upstairs. So that is my little craft area, you guys. It's not much, but it's my own space, and I'm loving it so far. And whenever I film, I have to move the lighting closer to me. So I mean, it is what it is, and I'm loving it. And it's more spacious, and I actually have an extra shelf that I took from my kids because all the board games used to be in there, so I cleaned it out, and now it's just more shelving for my yarn. So today we're gonna go have lunch as a family and then go grocery shopping, and then I actually need to find them another shelf to put their board games in, and then I want to find a bin for my finished objects that I can put in. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for sharing them whenever you can. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Oh, and one more thing. I have recently just found 2 two guys. They're podcasters. They're pretty new, so I think they only have around 500 subscribers. Their podcast is called Needles at the Ready. With it's Kevin and Ray, and they're married, so please check them out. I binge watch all their episodes. What was it? Thursday when my daughter was sick, and then today I watched their 5th episode. So if you guys are interested, please check them out. They knit mostly, and then Ray crochets as well. So check them out. I really enjoyed watching their channel, and I think you guys might too. But thanks again, you guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye.